What happens? Playoff basketball tonight.
I hope everybody's ready for this contest because we're in store for an interesting game.
Let's get out of here and make some noise. It's time for tip-off. It's time for Moravian basketball.
Getting ready for the tip. Susquehanna in their visiting orange uniforms with white numbers and letters. Greyhounds in their white home uniforms with gray numbers and letters. To tip, McGuire and Traub. And we're underway here in Johnston Hall for playoff basketball. Susquehanna winning the tip on the far side. Is Reichert inside. Traub gets the ball immediately. Looks to take it to McGuire. Spins to his right. Kicks it outside. Diedrich met by Holder. Traub wants it back in the paint. Makes a move past McGuire. Goes up with his left hand and scores. A 2-point lead for Susquehanna. Strong defensive effort and a foul being called. It's going to go against Tyler Hoagland. It'll be his first, team's first of the night. Jennings to inbound for the Greyhounds. Outside, pass stolen away by Wiedlich. Up the court, lob, pass. Hoagland has it, looks to go baseline, spins, kicks it outside. Diedrich back to Wiedlich. He's at the top of the key. Ball movement around the perimeter. Inside to Traub it goes, met by McGuire. Shot in the lane, off the mark. Traub hits it back outside the three-point line. Murray there to receive it. McGuire gets rid of it to Jennings. 20 seconds on the shot clock. McGuire has it, looks to get past Traub. Sees an opening, floats it in the lane, gets his own rebound, up and in it goes, and the game's tied at 2 apiece as McGuire takes it inside to Traub. Getting a hand, Murray throws it up in the air, met, tipped around, Traub's gonna grab it. He stands at 6'7", one of 4 individuals above 6'6". And a foul going to be called against the Riverhawks. It'll be Greyhound ball. Excuse me, correction, foul going against Moravian. A little confused, there's no foul called. But 5 seconds off the shot clock, and Susquehanna brings it up past half court in the hands of Hoagland. Skip pass to the far side. Reichert drives in the lane. Shot contested by McGuire and Murray, but not enough. He'll score. 4-2 now. Susquehanna leads. Underneath, Holder gets it. Met by Diedrich. Takes it in strong. Tries to draw contact. Tipped around off the hands of Hanna, and it'll be Susquehanna ball. A lot of intensity from both teams so far.
Yeah, you can definitely hear it. Susquehanna's bench is loud and intimidating right in front of this Moravian offense.
Inbound pass goes to Hoagland. He's then double team, kicks it to Wiedlich, who gets it up past half court. Dribbles to his left. Diedrich back with it, hands it off to Hoagland. He's back up top, 13 on the shot clock. Strong defensive stand. Can the Greyhounds hold off this shot? Blocked out of bounds by Holder. Possession will remain with Susquehanna. 7 seconds remain on the shot clock.
Smart defense by O'Neal. Holder keeping his body away and then swatting that with his long arms.
Inbound pass goes to Wiedlich. Double team, good defensive stance. Just over the hands of McGuire, thinking about a 3. Diedrich shot off at the buzzer and a whistle. They're going to call a delay of game. Possession will go towards the Greyhounds. 17:38 remains in the first half. 4-2 Susquehanna leads. Susquehanna's bench loud, getting to the Greyhounds. Brendan McGuire throws up a 3, and nothing but net for Brendan McGuire as it ignites the fans here at Johnston Hall. And the Greyhounds take a 1-point lead, 5-4.
And LJ, that's going to be a key matchup we're going to have to watch all night. Brandon McGuire versus Traub.
Skip pass to Weedlick, open in the lane. It was a 2-on-1 opportunity for the Riverhawks. McGuire caught in the middle. Floater in the lane will be good for Weedlick. 3-point shot, Murray is good! Back-to-back 3-point baskets for the Greyhounds, and now a 2-point lead, 8-6. And they're gonna call it a defensive foul against Jennings. .49 on the game clock. Taking a seat is Jennings. Checking into the game is Will Brazukas. Sophomore guard from Philadelphia, PA. One of 3 Greyhounds from Father Judge. The others, Sean Hanna and Brendan McGuire. No foul called as Brazukas hits the deck. Riker drive shot blocked by Murray, kicked outside, thinking about a 3. Was Diedrich, kicks it back out to Hoagland, and he'll set up the offense. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Inside, Traub looks to make a move on McGuire, spins back to his right, forces up a shot, gets it off the board and scores 2. Game tied at 8 apiece now.
And he's such an important player for that Susquehanna offense. When everything breaks down, they're always going to be looking to go to Ryan Traub. That man is almost a guaranteed bucket.
3-inch difference separating him and McGuire, and a foul called, and a blocking foul called. That's going to send Holder to the line for 2. Both officials blew their whistle, had to look at each other to concur. Blocking foul is the call. And that's going against Traub, his first, team's second of the half. Holder at the line to shoot 2. Holder's first attempt. Short, hits the front of the rim and falls out. Holder, a 68% foul shooter entering tonight's game. Sub for shooter will be Jake McGee. Holder misses both. Game still tied at 8. And McGee will have to wait on the sideline to enter this matchup.
With a game like this, you know, so much riding on this game, and you already know this is going to be a close, intense game. You got to knock down your free throws. That
Great
could be the
defensive
difference
stand by McGuire. Holder sidesteps 2 defenders. Shot cannot go. Traub has position in the paint. Gets a rebound past McGuire. Fast movement from Susquehanna. Cannot convert the basket as Diedrich. And Hanna has it on the near side wing to Holder. Susquehanna doing their research, knowing McGuire can shoot from outside. Traub all the way out towards the 3-point line. Murray takes it into the lane, draws contact, no foul called, but he'll convert the basket anyway. 10-8 the score, 15-17 on the game clock. Three subs getting prepared for each team for the next dead ball. Switch, they have Brazukas and Traub down low. Size mismatch, taking it to the basket. Met by Murray. Driving is Reichert past McGuire, kicks it outside. Shot contested, McGuire tries to grab a rebound. Met kicks it outside. Now to the near side driving. No look pass tipped away. Maybe a little 2-1 selfish as Weedlick. And Murray will bring it up past the half court and gets it to Brazukas.
That right there was a very impressive defensive stand by Moravian.
5.5 through the first. And McGuire takes it straight to the basket, giving the Greyhounds a 4-point lead. 14-20 to play in the first. Bringing it up the court is Weedlick. Over to Diedrich on the far side, hands it off to Reichert. Left open. Steps inside the 3-point line. Shot will not go. No one in the paint for the Riverhawks. McGuire left alone with a rebound. Brazukas up the court. Hands it off to Murray. Has McGuire. Skip pass. Holder thinks about it. Splits his defender. Has it go off Susquehanna. And possession remains with the Greyhounds. But subs coming into the game for the Greyhounds. Hargraves, Barnes, and McGee check in for Moravian. Connect the freshman guard in for Susquehanna. Cardone's going to replace Murray as well for the Greyhounds. Danny Weiss and Zach Connect in the game, 6'6" and 6'7" respectively. Cardone into the game, looks to drive. Met kicks it outside in the hands of Brazukas. Also into the game is Adam Disbon, number 23 for Susquehanna. Hargraves tries to go on the screen and roll. Cardone puts up a 3 at the buzzer. Tipped around, rebound grabbed by Weiss, and up come the Riverhawks to your left. Good defense by Cardone, not biting on the crossover. Looking to drive, he does. Disbon kicks it out, and drawing a foul is Wiedlich. Foul going against Matt Cardone. He's a junior guard from Branchburg, New Jersey. 13:20 on the game clock, 12-8 is the score. Disbon receiving the inbound pass, gets it off to Hoagland, and a foul called by Brazukas. 2 quick fouls beyond the three-point line for Moravian.
And Moravian's playing intense defense, which is good. You like to see that, but at the same time, you also want to keep your fouls down.
We noticed that on Saturday. Very aggressive, drawing tick-tacky fouls away from the basket was an issue for Moravian so far through almost 7 minutes of play. Consistent right now. Shot will fall for Wiedlich. His 4th point of the contest. Barnes sidestepping an offender. Shot forced, and over the basket it goes. Wiedlich up the court now for the Riverhawks. Kicks it outside. Hoagland hesitates. Disbon. 15 on the shot clock. Long distance 3-point shot put up by Steven Wiedlich, and he knocks it down. 7 points for him now. And the Riverhawks have a 1-point lead, 13-12, but Jake McGee goes straight to the basket down the lane and kisses it off the glass for 2, 14-13. Jake McGee with 2 points off the bench. Moravian not with a single starter on the floor right now, 5 deep on their bench. In the lane, shot blocked by John Hargraves, and Brazukas will bring it up the court for Moravian. Jake McGee to his left. He'll cut through the lane. Barnes comes up and grabs it. 20 on the shot clock. 12 minutes to play in the first. McGee, step back 3, short, hits the front of the rim. No one collapses to get a rebound, and grabbing it by the 3-point line is Tyler Hoagland. Spinning past Cardone. Wiedlich, shot contested. Great body control to score there, giving the Riverhawks back a 1-point lead. Cardone has it. C.J. Barnes with a deep 3. Off the mark. It's going to go into Susquehanna's bench and be Riverhawk ball. Subs back into the game. 4 out of their 5 starters. McGuire, Hanna, Murray, and Jennings all back in the game for the Greyhounds. Also checking back in for Susquehanna is Dalton Reichert. Wiedlich will take a seat. He has 9 points in the contest, not even through 10 minutes of play here at Johnson Hall. Ball movement by Susquehanna around the perimeter. Inside, Weiss looks to drive, tipped away by McGuire, ends up in the hands of Murray, has Hanna outside, thinks about it, goes inside of the lane. Pass read by Danny Weiss. McGuire upset with that pass, but good look by Hanna nonetheless. Ball outside the perimeter now. Have a 6'7" and 6'6" players on the court for the Riverhawks. Stolen away by Jake McGee. And here comes Jennings up the court, tries to go past Connect, takes it to the basket, draws contact. He'll score. Past Danny Weiss. Jennings stands at 6 foot, just took it to Danny Weiss standing at 6'6", pulling up underneath, going up, shot blocked away by Jimmy Murray. What an impressive play by Jimmy Murray standing at 6 foot, blocks it out of Danny Weiss's hands.
And if you're Weiss, you're thinking, I'm so tall, I'm about to go up, no one's guarding me. Brandon McGuire near the 3-point line, I'm all good. And here comes an athletic player in Jimmy Murray for the block.
After that rejection, Weiss will take a seat. Traub back on the floor, so 6'7", 2 6'7" individuals on the floor. One takes it to the basket, blocked away by O'Neal Holder, and McGuire ends up with it. And up the court come the Greyhounds with a 1-point lead. Murray ball fakes. McGuire wants it, hands off to Hanna. Looks to drive. draws contact against Zach Connect, and he'll head to the line to shoot 2. Sean Hanna, 69.4% from the charity stripe this season. If you're Coach Potts, you have to love the aggressive offensive play for the Greyhounds on the defensive side as well, but taking it to the basket. There's 2 6'7" individuals on the floor right now for Susquehanna as Hanna drops in his first, and they are not afraid to take it to the big man.
Oh, yeah, just as you said, Moravian, no fear at all. They're playing extremely aggressive on the defensive end and on the offensive end. Driving to the basket. We're seeing a lot more at the basket play than we usually are used to. Moravian usually the type of team to, kill you from the outside before going in.
Each team with 10 points in the paint in the contest as there's 10 minutes left in the first half, halfway through. Ball on the far side. Inside goes Traub. Looks to spin. Hanna gets a ball hand on there. Traub goes up again, contested by McGuire. He'll pull down a one-handed rebound. And the Greyhounds with Jennings crosses over defender, kicks it outside. Murray puts up a 3. Just a bit long. Hanna grabs a rebound, spins in the lane, and converts a basket. What a move by Sean Hanna to get a rebound in the paint, taking away a rebound from a 6'7" individual from the Riverhawks. What a move, Sean Hanna.
And that's a play that we've seen out of Sean Hanna before. Moravian comes up with another steal.
Sidestepping a defender is Murray, and off the hands of Susquehanna. No, the official says off the hands of a Greyhound. Possession arrow favoring the Riverhawks.
And we've seen big plays like that come out of Sean Hanna and other teammates. There's a reason why he is a team leader. There's a reason why, you can rely on Sean Hanna for plays like that.
9:13 remaining in the first half. Susquehanna with the ball. Brazukas going for a steal, but Sean Hanna, I believe, is going to get tacked for a foul, reaching in from behind. It will be him. That'll be his first, team's 4th of the half. Wiedlich to inbound. He's leading the way for Susquehanna with 9 points. Wiedlich guarded by Brazukas. Switch. You got Brazukas on Traub again. Susquehanna doing a great job to get that switch, but they can't get the ball inside the Traub. Taking it, Hoagland fouled and converts the basket. Impressive move by the sophomore guard to convert the basket, drawing the contact that he did from Jimmy Murray.
Yeah, no, that was definitely an impressive play. One thing that kind of worries me about Moravian's defense is that constant switch in and out of the post. Susquehanna knows that, and they're going to constantly keep doing that to get that size mismatch between Will Brazukas and Ryan Traub.
69% from the foul line is Tyler Hoagland. He'll drop it in, cutting this to a 2-point lead for the Greyhounds. Like you said, Susquehanna noticing the switch defense that Moravian plays. They haven't gotten at the Traub when Brazukas was on him the last 3 times we've seen this happen. Murray kicks it underneath McGuire outside the Brazukas, steps in the lane, sidesteps a defender, has the ball tipped. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Hanna calling for a screen by McGuire. He'll take it, splits 2 defenders. Another defender takes it with his left hand and can't convert the basket. Traub with the rebound. Up the court is Wiedlich. Connect, pulls up jumper, contested, and knocks it down. That's where height is at a disadvantage for Moravian. If a 6'7" giant comes down the floor and knocks down a pull-up jumper from 10 feet.
Especially if Susquehanna's big men are going to stretch the floor like that. If they can shoot a little bit, you're going to see a little bit of trouble.
McGuire, nice hook shot in the paint to get past Ryan Traub. McGuire now with 9 points in the contest. Wiedlich with it, Brazukas. We see that switch yet again with Traub having Brazukas on him underneath. Tipped Murray off his hand. Unfortunate there. Could have been Moravian ball. Murray at the right place, just not with the handle on the ball. He didn't think the ball was going to come to him in that situation.
Yeah, and that's not a bad play on Murray's fault. That's just like a mental error.
Defense chance coming from Johnston All here. What a crowd we have on our hands for this semifinal playoff game. Traub underneath, double teamed, and they're going to say he got the shot off before the shot clock, but a rebound by McGuire. Hanna looks into the lane, has it deflected away, and possession remains with Moravian. And the student section, the Hound Pack, now on their feet here at Johnston Hall. Danny Weiss checks into the game, giving Ryan Traub a break. Holder, pull-up jumper on the baseline, hard, long rebound. Long shot, rebound going to Diedrich up the court. Are the Riverhawks trying to cross over behind the back dribble. Hoagland contested by Brazukas, losing it off his hands. Murray keeps it in play, crosses over, still loose, picked up outside. And Hoagland sets up the Riverhawk offense with a fresh shot clock. 7 left to play in the first. 23 seconds on the shot clock. Underneath, Weiss guarded, looks, hook shot in the lane, and gets it to fall. Nice move by Danny Weiss, getting his first points of the contest, going over McGuire. McGuire comes out, grabs the ball, looks to skip across. He'll make a move past Weiss, going to the basket, up strong and scores. Greyhounds back in the lead by 2, 24-22. Inbound goes to Diedrich, double team. Breaking the press, Wiedlick's gonna bring it up past half court. Left uncontested, Diedrich throws up a 3, will not go, and a rebound for O'Neal Holder. Greyhounds can push this lead to a 2-possession game. Murray has Hoagland on him. Ball swung to the far side, and Sean Hanna. Brazukas now. 4 subs getting ready to sub in for Moravian. Skip past Holder. Size mismatch. Beats him to the baseline. Pull-up jumper. Long on that one again, and a foul going to be called going against Susquehanna in Danny Weiss, I believe. Oh, excuse me, going against Brendan McGuire. That'll be his first, team's 6th. Susquehanna just with 3 fouls. Subs into the game. The freshman Mike Martino checks into the game. John Hargraves, a freshman as well, and C.J. Barnes. 3 freshmen on the floor right now for the Greyhounds. Jake McGee, a sophomore, and the lone senior on the floor, Sean Hanna. Hanna beaten by Wiedlick. Crossing him over. Looks to take him to the basket. Blocked away by John Hargraves, and a great hustle, throwing it off of the Susquehanna defender, and it's Greyhounds ball. What a defensive stand by the freshman Greyhounds.
What an unbelievable play. No, there are no words to describe that type of effort. That's the type of fight that you have with this Moravian team. They just do not give up on any given play.
Martino up past half court on the Moravian emblem. McGee thinks about a 3. He's going to get called for a travel, though. He'll convert the basket, will not count, and it'll be Riverhawks ball on the near sideline. 5:37 to play in the first half. We approach 7:30 p.m. The other semifinal game getting set to tip off. Catholic, the fourth seed, takes on Scranton, who is the number 1 seed in the tournament. Ball movement for Susquehanna, cutting to the lane. A blocking foul going against Mike Martino. Converting the basket, though, will be Jason Diedrich. That'll be his first points of the night, earning himself a chance at a 3rd point from the foul line as Martino was set up in the restrictive area. Officials discussing, though. No official call being made. Foul, basket's good. Foul going against number 10, Mike Martino. That's the 7th foul against the Greyhounds. So Susquehanna, for the remaining 5 minutes and 22 seconds, will be shooting in the bonus. Susquehanna only has 3 fouls, though. Shot off the mark by Diedrich. Rebound, Sean Hanna. Martino will bring it up the court for the Greyhounds. Barnes on the near side. McGee hands off to Hanna, and they're going to call an offensive foul against Jake McGee. And coming into the game will be Khalil Rett replacing Jake McGee. Coach Potts and him are having a discussion. Returning to the floor, Wiedlick. Pass up the court. Hoagland has it stolen away, but gathered yet again by Reichert. Possession remains with Susquehanna. Wiedlick has it in his possession. Takes a screen, switch. Driving to the basket, shot contested. Hargraves, good defensive stand. Nice effort, though, by Wiedlich to try to get that ball high off the glass. It did hit the rim. Hargraves with a rebound. Ball moving now, Martino to Barnes on the far side. Under 5 to play here in the first half. Hargraves sets a screen. Hanna steps into a 3, and they're going to call another offensive foul for an illegal screen going against John Hargraves. That'll be his first, but the team's 9th of the half. Isaiah Jennings, Jimmy Murray, and Brendan McGuire come on the floor. Hanna, Hargraves, and Martino will take a seat.
It's definitely a questionable call. I'm not exactly sure what contact he's calling that offensive foul on. From up here, at least, it looks like he's just setting a normal screen.
And that's the second in a row now for offensive possessions for Moravian. So that's something Coach Potts will have to look at heading into halftime. Something to be cautious about. Getting away with a push-off is Wiedlich. Ball on the near side. Reichard has it tipped away. Khalil Rett picks it up. Passes to Murray, still loose. He'll gather and gets it off to Jennings. Barnes on the near side, steps into a 3. Long, McGuire tips it back. Gathered by Jennings. Fresh shot clock for the Greyhounds. 4:05 remains.
Smart play by Brandon McGuire to smack that ball out of.
A foul going against number 4, Jason Diedrich. That'll be his first, team's 4th of the half. So 4:01 remains, 4 fouls for Susquehanna, 9 against the Greyhounds. Game knotted up at 24 apiece. Khalil Rett receives it, looks the drive, kicks it outside, stolen away, pass read by Hoagland. Takes it up strong, shot altered. 2 Greyhounds go up for it. They're going to say it went off of Susquehanna. And it'll be Moravian ball. Sub into the game, O'Neal Holder for Khalil Rett. So the original, 4 out of the original 5 on the court. CJ Barnes, the lone bench player on the court at this time. Jennings dribbles, has McGuire open for a split second. Traub retreats back to him. Jennings to Barnes. Murray, Holder, now on the near side, winning ball, moving around the perimeter. McGuire looks the drive. Takes it straight to the basket and scores. Nice drive to the basket. Traub dribbles up the court. He'll be met by Jennings in the backcourt. Hoagland sets his feet, gets it past half court with a second to spare. Hanna getting ready to sub back in. Behind, nice backdoor cut and taken. And scoring is Dalton Reichard for his 4th point of the contest. Great look by Disbon to get that pass where it needed to be. Jennings, Holder.
And one thing for CJ Barnes, he's got to be more aware of that backdoor cut. They're doing that almost every single time on the same side.
Barnes, Jennings, 10 on the shot clock. McGuire wants it on the post. Dribbling, kicks it outside. Murray left open for 3. No good. McGuire gets a rebound. He's met. He'll take his dribble, kicks it outside. Holder lost control. He could have had an open 3-point shot. He wants it back. He'll ball fake, looks to drive, sidesteps his defender, and goes to the basket and scores himself. Back to a 2-point lead for Moravian, 28-26. Matt Holder, good defense from behind. Traub will dribble to the far side, hands it off. Disbon, met by Holder. Getting it up just in time. Stolen away by Jennings. Holder draws a foul going against Disbon. That'll be his first, team's 5th. 2:08 remains in the first half. What are you impressed with the most so far with 2:08 remaining in the first half, Tyrell?
2:08 remaining. I think what mostly hasn't been impressing me is just the intensity that both teams have been giving. You're seeing it from both teams that sense of urgency that need to win. This is still a close game, only a 2-point lead by Moravian. But one thing that really has stuck out in my mind is this intense defense by Moravian. It's absolutely incredible to watch.
And just seeing it, I'm sure you can notice this at home if you're watching. They know what's at stake in this game. They're playing for one more game for a landmark conference championship opportunity.
Oh yeah, of course. Coming in, 4th place, so to speak, at this point is not an option. They want the win.
Jennings, short to the rim. Rebound goes to Zach Connect, who's in the game, the freshman guard, standing at 6'7". So now Traub and Connect in the game, both 6'7" Giants on the floor. Wiedlich Dribble, switch. Passes to the far side. Traub off the glass and in for two. Nice recognition by Susquehanna to get both big men drawn to the one side and then leaving Traub open on the other side to get an easy basket. Murray at the top of the key. Looks to drive, kicks it outside. Hanna sees McGuire. He'll split behind the back dribble. Draws a foul and a charge. And Hanna questioning that his foot was inside the restrictive area. And that's going to be an offensive foul going against Sean Hanna. That'll be his second, team's 10th, or excuse me, Sean Hanna's third. It'll be his second foul, excuse me, team's 10th. Scoreboard corrects it. Checking in the game for him, though, is C.J. Barnes. McGee's going to replace O'Neal Holder as well. .103 left, game knotted up at 28. Barnes on Weidlich double team, pass up the court. Zach Connect to Hoagland. He'll set himself, look inside to Traub, dribbles to the other side, kicks it out. Connect maybe gets away with a walk, kicks it back outside. Hoagland drives, splits his defender, shot off the mark, and going off of Ryan Traub. And Moravian will have the ball. Coming into the game for the first time, Jacob Walsh, the freshman center, stands at 6'8". So now all four players on Susquehanna's bench, a 6'6" defender, two 6'7" individuals, and now a 6'8" freshman. Two of them are freshmen. That's amazing that Susquehanna has that type of height, and a kick ball. Possession remains with the Greyhounds. 36.5 seconds to play in the first half. Game knotted up at 28 apiece. Greyhounds ball underneath their own basket. 22 seconds on the shot clock. McGee comes out, receives the inbound pass. He'll dribble, has Brazukas at the top of the key. 30 seconds now. Barnes looks to drive, outside. McGee hesitates, looks, McGuire. Murray, 10 now on the shot clock. Drives baseline, draws a foul and converts the basket. Foul looks like it's going to go against Zach Connect. Excuse me, number 10, Tyler Hoagland. That'll be his second, team 6th, and Murray with a chance to make this a 3-point lead. Murray, an 86.7% foul shooter this season. Highest on the team. Knocks it down, makes this a 3-point game. 19.8 seconds left, and a foul going against Will Brazukas before the inbound. And that's going to give Susquehanna 2 shots at the foul line as the Greyhounds are in the double bonus. And the officials hearing that from the Greyhound fans here at Johnston Hall.
Yeah, and you know, with this being a playoff game and everything at stake, you're going to hear it no matter what foul call you make or what traveling call you make, or, you know.
Sinks the first, has one more to come. Sub's going to be for the shooter. If he converts the basket, looks like it's going to be Disbon. He sinks both. Sub comes in the game. It will be Disbon replacing Hoagland. 19.5 seconds left. Coach Potts discussing with the official the previous call, I believe. Brazukas will walk it up the court. Shot clock unplugged. 15 seconds remain in the first half. Barnes hesitates, drives. Pass stolen away. 5 seconds left. Pass blocked out of bounds by Jimmy Murray, leaving 1.7 seconds remaining on the game clock. This gives Susquehanna enough time to throw up a desperation heave or get a good look underneath with their 2 6'8" players on the floor right now. Inside to Weidlich. Up off the buzzer, and he'll convert the basket. And that's how the end of the first half will go, giving the Riverhawks a 1-point lead heading into halftime. The score, 32-31 at host Moravian College for the Landmark Conference semifinal matchup tonight between the 17th ranked Susquehanna University Riverhawks and your Moravian College Greyhounds. We will step aside for a brief break. We'll come back before the start of the second half with stats and analysis from the first half. Thank you for tuning into the Greyhound Sports Network on MoravianSports.com. And welcome back to Johnston Hall on the campus of Moravian College for tonight's Landmark Conference semifinal matchup between the University of Susquehanna University, Riverhawks, and your Moravian College Greyhounds. Susquehanna ranked 17th in the country entering tonight's matchup. They have a 1-point lead off a buzzer beater baseline jumper to give them a 32-31 lead taking into halftime. Tyrell, what did you think of the first half?
That was a really exciting half of basketball. You know, we saw a lot of offense that was really aggressive, a lot of really aggressive defense on both sides. Again, this is a really close game, 32-31 by Susquehanna. It's just an impressive performance by both teams, you know, and both teams, you know, pretty much shooting about almost the same. 46.7% from the field is Susquehanna, 50% from the three-point line, only attempting 2 three-point shots, and 75% from the free throw line. Moravian shooting 44.8% from the field, 25% from the three-point line, and 60% from the free throw. You know, it's just a really good game. I think both teams fully understand what's at stake. That's why they're playing so hard. That's why they're playing with such urgency. And you know, it just shows. You can just really tell. You know, some really impressive plays. You know, outstanding play right now from Braden McGuire. Great defense by Sean Hanna. O'Neal Holder coming up big for them. I think it just goes to show, you know, Justin Potts has a lot of trust in his team and is able to dip into his bench. Susquehanna's the same way. They've been switching in and out of different lineups, switching in and out with big men. Ryan Traub not always in the game, which is a big advantage for them. Allows him to rest up and then come into the game fresh. And then, you know, an impressive buzzer beater at the end here by Woodlick. It's just a really impressive game of basketball, and I'm really excited for the second half.
And like you said, I feel like it's an evenly distributed game overall for both teams. Susquehanna has 10 players that have seen action so far tonight, Moravian with 12. So benches coming up key tonight, but at the same point, a low-scoring affair first half for them. Their last matchup at the half, it was 43-41. So about a 10-point difference for each team. Susquehanna did go into halftime with a lead. Their last matchup here at Johnston Hall. Greyhounds have been playing pretty well from behind, and that's something we mentioned in the Catholic game. That's not something to get comfortable with if you're Moravian. You don't want to have a lead, lose it, be down by almost double digits, and then have to fight back and gain a win.
But yeah, most definitely. You know, that's a high-stress situation, and you know, playing like that isn't the best. It's a good thing that they have that resiliency and that, you know, ability to fight back and, you know, that never give up attitude. But, you know, if you're Moravian at this point, you're in a really good position. You're only down by 1. You're playing great basketball. Keep it up in the second half, and you should, you know, see the results that you want to see. We're seeing some mistakes out of Susquehanna, and we're also seeing the refs making it an interesting game, interesting calls on both sides of the basketball. Trying not to be biased, of course, but you know, the second half is going to prove to be really interesting, and you're going to see it all laid out on the line in this second half. It's going to, you know, nothing short of a thriller as soon as that buzzer goes off.
Interesting trend so far this season for Moravian. The Greyhounds have trailed in a total of 13 out of their 18 victories this season. Coming back from a 12-point deficit against Susquehanna already earlier this season. A 9-point second half deficit at Goucher. Or excuse me, an 11-point deficit versus Goucher, a 10-point deficit versus Susquehanna, and a 9-point second half deficit against Goucher. Yeah, so I mixed that up, sorry. But that's amazing, the control that the Greyhounds need to have. You trail in 13 out of your 18 wins. That's crazy that you came back, and especially from double-digit deficits as well, and some of them even being in the second half. So the fight in these Greyhounds needs to be big tonight to pull out yet another victory, moving them to the Landmark Conference Championship.
Of course, and you know, that again, that is an impressive stat. It shows Moravian's fight and their willingness to never give up. At the same time, though, this is playoff basketball, as we've mentioned a million times now. It's completely different than regular season. You, at the beginning of the second half, don't want to get down by double digits and then expect that because you're a team with that reputation to come back, that the same thing will happen here in the playoffs.
Scores. throughout the conference. Moravian took on Scranton in a 2-3 matchup starting this evening at 5:30. The game did go final before the start of our game, but Moravian's women's basketball team did fall to the University of Scranton 71-60 in the semi-final game of the Landmark Conference. Still more to look from Moravian with a possible ECAC bid, potentially an at-large bid for the NCAA tournament as well. But another game, the other men's game going on right now, that game tipped off at 7:30 with 7:53 left in the first. Catholic with a 5-point lead over host Scranton right now, 25-20. Still a lot of basketball left to play even here. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Let's start the second half of basketball here at Johnston Hall. Moravian ball in the hands of senior Isaiah Jennings. Original 5 starters on the floor for Moravian. Jennings on the near side. Murray now looks underneath. Goes inside to McGuire. Skip, pass outside, holder, ball fakes. Had a chance at a 3. Murray splits 2 defenders. Finger roll in the lane is good. And the Greyhounds with a quick 1-point lead here in the second. Pass, driving in the lane. Weedlick shot, contested. Traub in the lane, can't convert. Turns, tries to get a fadeaway jumper off, and he's fouled by Jimmy Murray. That'll be his second foul of the contest, first for the Greyhounds. At the line is Traub. Traub 79% from the foul line. He'll knock in the first. Traub averaging 17.1 points per game. He now has 7. Leading scorer for Susquehanna is Stephen Widlick. He's 5 of 9 from the floor, 1 of 1 from long distance with 11 points, double figures. Traub hits his second now with 8 points. And leading scorer for Moravian, Brendan McGuire with 13 heading into the first half. Jimmy Murray with that basket now gives him 10. Jennings over to Murray. Hanna looks underneath. McGuire outside the paint, looks to back down. Nice cut. Nice pass to Hanna cutting through the lane. He can't convert the right-handed layup as he is a lefty, so that is his harder shot. Defensive chance coming from the fans. And ball goes out of bounds. Off of Susquehanna. It'll be Moravian ball. And a good defensive stop forcing a turnover. Turnovers so far in the game. With that, Susquehanna and Moravian each have 8 turnovers.
Yeah, pretty even play. It's a very defensive game, a lot of intense defense on both sides. So this isn't really a lot of mental mistakes as it is really well-played defense.
Susquehanna only committing half as many fouls as Moravian with 12 fouls. Susquehanna with 6 and a 30-second timeout, or a timeout, called by Brendan McGuire. Quick thinking, a 30-second timeout will be called. Upcoming action for the Landmark Conference. The winner of tonight's game will advance to the 2017 Landmark Conference Championship game to be held this Saturday, February 25th, at the highest remaining seed. The victor of that contest will receive the conference automatic berth to the 2017 NCAA Division III tournament that will begin on March 3rd. As we stated before, the other game in action with 7:53 to play in the first half, an updated score. With 5:57 left to play in the first half, Catholic with a 7-point lead, 29-22. Turning to action here at Johnston Hall. Murray receives the inbound pass. Greyhounds trail by 1, 34-33. A minute and 25 seconds into the second half. McGuire ball fakes. Drives, 3 seconds on the shot clock. Loose ball and a foul going to be called against Susquehanna. Going against number 4. Jason Diedrich, that'll be his second, team's first. And they're going to say McGuire was in the act of shooting. And head coach Frank Marcinek starts approaching the official on the floor there, discussing whether or not he was in the act of shooting or not. And they will say, and they're going to say he was in the act of shooting. Brendan McGuire, I believe, will remain on the line to shoot. Now they'll correct it. Moravian will inbound underneath the basket. Inbounded to McGuire. Left open, he'll ball fake. Given enough room by Traub, but he'll elect to pass Hanna on the near side. Fresh shot clock for Moravian though. Back Hanna. Looks to drive. Splits his defender, draws a foul, and the shot will be good. As Sean Hanna, if he would have went up with his right hand, his less dominant hand, that shot would have definitely been blocked. But moving the ball to his left side, getting it off the square on the backboard, gets the shot to fall, has a chance to complete a three-point play.
That's just great body positioning by Sean Hanna. Absolutely unbelievable.
Hanna at the line. Ryan Schraub will take a seat. Checking into the game will be Zach Connect. Hanna at the line. A 69.4% foul shooter, drops that one in. Inbound goes to Wiedlich in the corner, gets it to Connect. Hanna avoids contact up the court, now in the hands of Reichert. Needs help inside Traub. McGuire tries to make a defensive stand. Traub goes with his left, can't make it. McGuire tips it down and grabs a rebound. Up the court come the Greyhounds. McGuire now 13 points with 7 rebounds. Hanna coming off a screen. Jennings on the far side. Underneath, pass loose off the hands of McGuire. Good defensive effort by Traub. Up the court, Wiedlich for the Riverhawks. Kicks it outside. Connect drives. And blocking foul going against O'Neal Holder. Doesn't seem to be arguing with the call, but hearing it from the fans or the officials.
You know, and as we stated before, you know, that block or is it a charge call is going to be one of the hardest calls to make in basketball.
17:42 on the clock. Zach Connect at the line. He'll drop in his first. Connect 71% from the foul line, averages 5.3 points. He now has 3. His second attempt now will be good. And the game's tied back up at 36. 17:40 left to play. Jennings directing traffic, dribbles to the right side. McGuire, ball fakes. Hanna comes off a screen, drives, kicks it out. McGuire open for 3. Brendan McGuire knocks down a big 3-point basket, giving the Greyhounds a 3-point lead, 39-36.
Ryan Traub knows better, but, you know, just mental error on that play, not getting up on Brendan McGuire. He can shoot that 3-point shot.
McGuire with 16 points, 6 of those points coming off of 3-point baskets. Defense chance coming from the Hound Pack to our right. Ball movement now. Connect has it stolen away by Jennings, but they'll call a foul. I believe Jennings had a hold of Traub's jersey from behind. Fair enough.
Not necessarily a bad call, just one obviously these home fans do not want to see.
And pretty much if you're a student for the home team, you're going to disagree with whatever the official says. So that's expected.
Exactly. You know, boos coming from the crowd, it doesn't matter what, you know, call you make. It's going to be a boo no matter what.
Hoagland looks to drive, kicks it into Traub in the lane, contorts his body, gets it to the far side of the basket. McGuire kicks it outside. Hanna open for 3. Runs past Traub. Jennings underneath McGuire. Up and in for 2. What a look by Isaiah Jennings. And awareness by Brendan McGuire to catch the ball in midair and get it up with his left hand. Great look by McGuire. Ball inbounded to Hoagland. Double team. Hits Callahan into the game. And ball goes out of bounds off of Callahan. And it'll be a turnover for the Riverhawks. And Traub will take a seat. Coming into the game is going to be Danny Weiss, the senior forward from Montville, New Jersey. Jennings will also take a seat. Will Brzukis steps on the floor for the Greyhounds.
Absolute great play by Moravian. As we said before, you know, this is a very smart team, offensively and defensively playing a very intense brand of basketball tonight.
Hanna gets it back from McGuire. Murray almost loses it off his leg. McGuire to set a screen. Switch on defense. Underneath, ball fakes. Good D by Weiss. McGuire goes off, passes to Brzukis, but a fortunate play going off the hands of a Susquehanna defender into the Moravian bench. Moravian will keep possession, but only 8 seconds remain on the shot clock. Hanna receives the inbound pass. 7 seconds now on the shot clock. They are aware. McGuire off a screen, kicks it back out. McGuire ball fakes over to Brzukis, and that's going to be a shot clock violation as Brzukis did not elect to take a shot. Passes it over to McGee. Shot clock already expired, but McGee with that shot has yet to make a basket. or he's 1 of 2. And a foul going to be called going against Weiss underneath. Hannah drawing a foul, tiptoeing the baseline. Very dangerous play.
Yeah, that's one of those plays that could have went either way. Of course, the fan's happy that it was called a foul. But if you're a Susquehanna fan, you know that's a call you would have liked to see out of bounds.
Hannah gets the pass, steps into the foul line. Jumper by McGee, knocks it down. 43-38 the score, 5-point lead for the Greyhounds now, 15-27 remains in the second half. Callahan passes over, connect, dribbles up top, Hoagland. Callahan underneath. Weiss looks to make a move. Up and under, he tries to go, shot off the mark. And a rebound for Brendan McGuire up the court. It seems like Weiss is in some pain. Three-pointer by Hannah off the mark. Murray kicks it back out after a rebound. Has it stolen away by Wiedlich. He'll take it to the basket and slip. And the ball, that will be a turnover. An unfortunate event. That could be a very dangerous play. But it was very fortunate he just slipped. And there's nothing we can really do about that play. It's very unfortunate. But seemed like he was about to throw a dunk down. I was trying to be as biased as possible. That's very unfortunate. Yeah, I will leave it at that.
Unfortunately, you know, no one else slipped on that spot previously. I think that wet spot would have come from when number 42 had originally went for a layup, fallen over, and then made the floor slick on that previous play.
And traveling called, a quick whistle. And 2 unfortunate plays for Susquehanna, but resulting with Moravian. So, and now they're going to have not enough communication by the officials. But that's an unfortunate turn of events that could have really brought the Riverhawks back into this game. It is only a 5-point game, but if the Greyhounds can capitalize off of this, be very beneficial. And almost yet again another turnover. Brazukas dribbles past it. Outside, Jake McGee puts up a 3 in front of his bench. Knocks it down, Jake McGee for 3! 46-38. And an unfortunate turn of events for Susquehanna. Like we just said, that slip could have cut that lead to 3 points. But cutting to the basket, Hoagland Traub off of his hand. They're going to say it went off of Will Brazukas. Not discussing it, off of his hand, the call.
Yeah, most definitely. And, you know, with such unfortunate turn of events for Susquehanna, of course, you know, that fuels the home team. But, you know, it's tragic to see for an away team, especially coming into a game that means so much, and that, you know, plays like that, it could, you know, this game is going to be close no matter what. Regardless of what the score might say now, at the end of this game, it's going to be, you know, a really close matchup. So plays like that actually do, in fact, matter.
And not only did that affect, like, that could have been a wide-open layup if he elected to a layup. He could have missed it. If he went for a dunk, he could have botched it. A lot could have happened, but unfortunately he slipped. He is okay, though. It could have been bad if he did actually injure himself. Of
course, you know, happy for his health. You know, at least he's okay, and that, of course, could have resulted a lot worse than that. You know, potential injury, but thank goodness he's not hurt. You know, again, an unfortunate turn of events. Our event staff is working tirelessly, making sure that floor is safe for the players on the playing field.
Score update across the Landmark Conference in men's basketball at the half. 4th-seeded Catholic clinging to a 1-point lead over number 1 Scranton, 33-32. If the score would stand for Moravian having the lead and they would come out victorious tonight and Catholic would come out victorious, we would host the championship here at Johnston Hall Saturday afternoon. But there's still left plenty of basketball left. Wiedlich shot blocked, but a late whistle from behind, and they will call a foul going against Brendan McGuire. And that'll be McGuire's second foul. And be the 4th against Moravian in the half. At the line is Wiedlich. Hits the front of the rim on that. Has one more to come, though. Weidlich, the team leader in scoring, 21.4 points a game he averages. He's 85.8% from the foul line, but he misses his first, and he'll rattle home the second. So cutting this now to a 7-point lead, 46-39. Moravian ball on the far side. McGee coming off a screen. Good defensive look by Susquehanna. McGuire spots up for three. Off the back of the iron, long rebound. Hanna trailing behind. Hoagland brings it up the court. 13:54 remaining in regulation. Weidlich with it. Looks inside the trap. Looks to make a move on McGuire. He goes to the left side. Shot will go. Size playing a factor there. 6'7".
And again, as we stated before, that was going to be a huge matchup going between the two of them.
Step back three off the mark. Brzukis tries to come from behind past Weidlich. Can't get it done. Callahan goes to the basket. Shot altered. Thrown back. Grabbed by Weidlich. Blocked away by Will Brzukis. What a play by Will Brzukis to see that coming. Murray unfortunately grabs the ball. They're going to say it went out of bounds and could not capitalize off of that opportunity. But what a play by Will Brzukis.
You know, that's an intense play on defense. Jimmy Murray making a mental mistake, bobbling the ball like that. He's got to make that catch. Important plays down the stretch. We're in the second half. 13:15 to go. Still a lot of time, but plays like that can prove to cost you the game.
Holder on the floor. Barnes, Hanna, Brzukis, McGuire. Each individual on the floor right now with 2 fouls besides Barnes. Hoagland takes it, converts the basket with his right hand, cuts the lead to 3, 46-43. Holder with 1 foul, Barnes with 0. Brzukis, Hanna, and McGuire each with 2. 12 on the shot clock. Brzukis has it in his hands. Barnes, ball fakes, looks to drive, baseline jumper over the rim into the hands of Traub. And Susquehanna could look to tie the game in this possession. They've only taken 2 3-point shots. They've made 1 of them. Greyhounds 4 of 13 from long distance, 30%. 19 of 40 from the field, 19 of 41, 46% from the floor. Susquehanna 17 of 40, 42%. Off the hands of McGuire. And subs into the game, Jimmy Murray and Isaiah Jennings will come on the floor, replacing Brzukis and Hanna. 12:22 remains in the semifinal game here at Johnson Hall. Thank you again for tuning in to the Greyhound Sports Network on MoravianSports.com. Inbound pass goes to Disbon. Dribbling, looks inside, gets it to Traub. Back, connect. Goes inside the Traub. He's double teamed, puts it up, and a foul called, I believe. Coach Potts furious. Going against O'Neal. Holder picking up his first. And that was a late whistle as the shot clock was about to expire. Traub might not have gotten the shot off, but we don't know. He's at the line for 2. He'll drop in the first. Perfect shot. John Hargraves comes in the game replacing Brendan McGuire. .12:10 remains. Sinks both. Traub will sub out. Checking into the game, Jacob Walsh, the freshman center, stands at 6'8". Jennings up the court. Game a 1-point lead for Moravian. Hargraves wants it underneath. Over to Barnes on the far right side. Screen set. Hargraves over to Holder. Ball fakes one way, drives in the lane, puts up a shot, draws a foul, and he'll head to the line to shoot 2. Foul going against Dalton Reichert. Going to be his first, team's 4th of the half. Moravian with 5 fouls. Holder at the line, shooting 68%. Holder drops in the first. Holder now 1 of 3 at the foul line in the contest. 11:53 remaining. Holder perfect from the foul line. Full court pressure yet again, but finding an opening is Disbon. Getting beat. Stolen away, off, tipped away by Barnes. Holder kicks it outside. Murray has someone on his back, looks to drive, sidesteps the defender, goes straight to the basket, and finger rolls it in for 2, giving the Greyhounds a 5-point lead, 50-45, 11:36 to play.
And that's that intense defense we were talking about before. That's going to come out clutch for Moravian, getting a steal and some points.
Hoagland dribbles back up top for the Riverhawks. Gets it back on give and go, looks to drive past Barnes, and they're going to call a foul. An unfortunate situation for C.J. Barnes. That'll be his first foul, though, team 6th of the half with 11:20 remaining. This game could come down to free throws if both teams keep fouling the way they do.
And that's something we stated in our pregame analysis. This game was going to be close no matter what. And free throws, you know, every play is going to matter. Every turnover you throw, every missed layup, missed shot attempts, bad shot attempts, everything's going to count.
McGuire and Hannah check back in the game for Hargraves and Barnes. Inbound pass goes in to Wiedlich, who comes back off the bench. Pass, driving inside, shot contested, blocked by O'Neal. Holder, and Hannah has one on his back. He races up the court, has Jennings on the opposite side, takes it to the basket, draws a foul. He converts the basket, and a motion from Sean Hannah after the left-handed layup. Wow.
Just an unbelievable play by the senior Sean Hannah. Again, as we explained before, he's got incredible body control. He uses that left hand just to throw it and kiss it right off the glass. What a play.
Heading to the bench, number 11, Jacob Walsh. Returning to the floor is Ryan Traub, the leading scorer right now for the team. Oh, excuse me. Yes, 14 points for Traub, 12 for Wiedlich. Moravian, Brendan McGuire with 18, Jimmy Murray with 12, and Sean Hannah sits with 9, can make it 10 points with this foul shot. Hannah 69% from the free throw line this season. Can't get it to go. A rebound, though, by Connect. And here come the Riverhawks with Hoagland in possession. Wiedlich now. Lob pass up to Connect. Dribbles to the far side. Defense chance coming from the crowd here. Johnston goes off the foot of Susquehanna. An official on the near sideline corrects the call. It is Greyhound ball, turnover by Susquehanna. That will be the Riverhawks' 14th turnover of the game, but 13 for Moravian, and a full timeout taken by Frank Marcinek in his 28th season at the helm of the Riverhawks. What a game we have on our hands. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're tuning in, you're in for a treat. The fans here packed gym. Susquehanna fans making the trip. Their team is in the playoffs once again. It's just fascinating basketball we have.
A lot of raw emotion, a lot of tension between these two teams. Again, splitting the season series. Losing in a big margin was Moravian when they went away to Susquehanna, but then Moravian pulling out a close one, win by 3 when they come here to Johnston Hall. Now, again, we have another close matchup. It's playoff basketball. This is for everything. You know, loser goes home, winner, you know, lives to fight another day on Saturday. So you're definitely going to see a lot of emotion out of these players.
And like I stated in pregame, Susquehanna holds a 37-20 record against the Greyhounds overall. But Susquehanna, 15-10 here at Johnston Hall. So they still have the upper hand, but the Greyhounds trailing by 1 going into halftime. They were trailing by 2 going into halftime, their last meeting on the 28th. The fight in these guys on the floor is incredible.
You know, and I agree with everything you're saying, LJ. You know, a lot of impressive play by both teams, but especially here by Moravian, just one team who will not give up.
After the turnover by Susquehanna and the timeout as well, it's Moravian ball. Jennings over to McGuire, thinks about a 3. Traub giving him respectable room, back over to McGuire, thinks about it. The floor is spread. Hannah looks to take a screen. He's double teamed back. Lob past Jennings, wide open. Dribbles, Holder on the far side, 10 seconds on the shot clock. He's double teamed. McGuire up top. Spins past Connect. passes, Jennings kicks it out. McGuire left open for three, knocks it down, Brendan McGuire! What a three-point shot! 10-point lead for the Greyhounds, the biggest of this evening.
Unselfish play by the Greyhounds, and it proves to be rewarding. Constant ball movement until they get a wide open shot.
Wiedlich knew his shot was off the mark. Rebound grabbed by McGuire as Murray dribbles, hands it off to Jennings. Greyhounds leading by 10 halfway through the second. Pass deflected and a foul against Jimmy Murray. Kind of a risky foul. Like we said before, far away from the basket. That's going to be his third. Each Greyhound also on the court with 2 fouls apiece. Murray now with 3. That is the 7th Greyhound foul.
Yeah, again, not the smartest of plays by Jimmy Murray. Leaving your feet to make a pass, not the best thing, because if you come down without passing the ball, that's a travel, and now you have to make a pass no matter what. It wasn't a great pass, not a great play. Definitely should have looked to do something different with the ball in that possession.
And instead of taking a free throw shot, Susquehanna will inbound. I guess they're saying there's no possession of the ball before the foul. Coach Marzinek asking for an explanation. He doesn't get one. The ball will be inbounded. Now, almost stolen away by Jennings. Good defensive effort. Do not cause a foul this far away from the basket, though. Holder creeping over. Double teams. Gets it up, past. Here comes Connect. Met. Shot blocked away. McGuire, but Traub underneath. Blocked by O'Neal. Holder outside. McGuire tries to kick it out to Jennings as he was racing up the court, and it'll be an unforced turnover by the Greyhounds.
That's a great play by O'Neal Holder. Way to be aware. Get the block on Traub. But for Brandon McGuire, you just got to wait that extra second before making that pass.
Pass over to Hoagland at the top of the key. Now in the hands of, Reichard. And a foul called going against Barnes. And that'll be his second. So every Greyhound on the floor right now has 2 fouls. 8th foul against the Greyhounds. We still have 9 minutes and 28 seconds left.
If there's one thing that the Greyhounds can take away from this game is that if they're going to play or continuing forward in this game, they're going to continue to play defense and try and not foul. They got to get their bodies and their hips away from the defense. They have to stay backed up. Every time that they initiate that contact by getting their hips forward and putting their chest into defenders, they're getting called for blocking fouls.
Reichard sinks both. No shock there. He shoots 94% from the foul line entering tonight. Fascinating. 9:23 to play. Greyhounds dribble up the court, leading by 8. Jennings dribbles to the right side. McGuire at the top of the key. Once Barnes gets Hannah on the near side. Dribbles in, double team, no look past Jennings. What a save from going into the 3rd row of bleachers. Back outside, Jennings thinks about it. McGuire looks to drive, draws contact, and a blocking foul going against Ryan Traub. That could have went either way. That's the thing with these fouls.
Again, yep, that easily could have been called as an offensive charge. Luckily, it was a block for Moravian. As you know, in this point in the game, you don't want to get in foul trouble.
Second foul against Traub, 6th team foul on the half, 8 for Moravian. Jake McGee into the game, replacing O'Neal Holder. Will Brzukis replaces Isaiah Jennings. Also coming back on the floor is Desbon. He's going to give Hoagland a break. And with 9:03 remaining, Greyhounds with an 8-point lead, 55-47. They are in possession. Inbound pass goes to Barnes in front of Coach Potts on the far side. McGuire to Brzukis. Hannah with 25 on the shot clock. Doesn't take the screen. It's guarded by Traub. He'll step back over to McGee. Wants it underneath. Out. Hannah, long distance 3. Rattles out. Rebound, though, grabbed by Diedrich and up the court in the hands of Reichard. Oh, and Traub gets away with a hand to the face to Sean Hannah, but he'll score the left-handed basket. Under 8.5 to play. 55-49. The Greyhounds need to get a basket here. Hannah thinks about another 3 outside Brzukis. Dribbles. Barnes drives inside, double team. McGuire goes up and under and scores, getting past Traub. In the defensive stand by the Riverhawks. Saving it is Desbon. Double team, gets it. Stolen away by Hannah, off Susquehanna, and it's Moravian ball! The team effort and the defensive stance, the pressure that they apply on the inbound is amazing, and Hannah with another incredible play for the defense for the Greyhounds.
He's just an incredible player. He comes up great for you on the offensive side. He comes up big for you on the defensive side. Plays like that are just something you almost come to expect from Sean Hannah.
Coming off the inbound pass, finds a seam in Sean Hannah, dribbles baseline, drawing a foul, and that's going to go against Jason Diedrich, and that'll be his 4th foul. His 4th foul against Diedrich, 7th against the Riverhawks. So now each team will shoot in the bonus for the remainder of the game. Hannah at the line for a 1-and-1. Sub into the game is Zach Connect. He'll replace Jason Diedrich with 4 fouls. Hannah at the line. Good on his first. Hannah now 4 of 5 in the contest. He has 10. Leading scorer, though, Brendan McGuire leading the way, 23 points, 9 rebounds now, 1 away from a double-double. Ryan Traub leading scorer, 16 points and 7 rebounds, leading that category as well. Hannah perfect from the foul line, extending it back to a 10-point lead. And Wiedlich not scoring as much as he is in the first half. Up the court, Connect, met, bounce past the Traub, contested shot, but he'll score. Traub, a force to be reckoned with underneath. Now with 18 points, he's 7 of 12 from the floor.
Yeah, and we said pre-game that Ryan Traub was going to be an issue and that for Moravian to win this game, they were going to have to play incredible defense on him as they did the last time when they were home.
McGee looks to drive. Maybe got away with a carry. Loose ball stolen away by Connect. Good defensive stand by him. And up the court, lob pass. Maybe Riker getting away with a walk. Passing to Hoagland. Looks to drive past Hannah. And a foul. And that's going to go against Sean Hannah. That'll be his 3rd, team's 9th, and the official not hearing it. He's going to be hearing it from the fans. And the official on the far side, kind of out of the play, called the foul. Hoagland sinks the first.
The official out of the play made the call. The issue that the fans are having is the fact that the official who had the view that we all had saw Sean Hannah's hand on the ball and didn't try to make an effort to recover that play.
The only issue could be as if his hand was wrapped around his jersey or he's pulling at his jersey. That's the only understandable call, but that now cuts this to a 6-point lead. Greyhounds 59-53. There's 7:13 to play. Brazukas closely guarded, picks up his dribble, has Murray outside, needs to get rid of it, has it to McGuire, he'll dribble, gives it to Murray, hesitates, back to McGuire, loose, Traub comes out, kicks it to Murray, there's 10 on the shot clock, 7, outside, McGuire, and an offensive foul, and yet the same official who called the opposite end foul makes another call down here that is highly questionable to every single Greyhound fan here.
That's such a hard thing to do if you're the ref that's not in the position to make that call. It's game changing. As we said before, every play is going to count. A little less than 7 minutes left, 59-53. Greyhounds have the lead, but for how much longer?
Connect comes up the court. Decent handling skills for a guy that's 6'7". Traub gets it, blocked by McGuire! What a block by 6'4" Brendan McGuire. CJ Barnes pulls up, tries to give it to O'Neal Holder, and jumping up in the air, forcing an unwilling pass, and taking it to the basket and scoring in transition off of that turnover is Tyler Hoagland.
Major mental mistake.
And this is cut to a 4-point lead, 6:17 to play. Pass underneath McGuire. Lob pass Murray. Met, pull-up jumper beyond the elbow. Knocks it down, Jimmy Murray. And a 30-second timeout called by head coach Justin Potts in his 2nd season at the helm of the Greyhounds. We'll take a look across the conference in Scranton, Pennsylvania right now. Catholic, the 4th-seeded team in the Landmark Conference, with a 4-point lead over number 1 Scranton, 17:20 to play. Like I said, if Catholic would pull off an upset, we saw them this past Saturday. They did struggle, even though Moravian won by single digits. If Catholic pulls off this upset against Scranton and Moravian comes out victorious tonight, we will host the championship game. Moravian has not won a a landmark conference game or a playoff game last since February 22nd, 1990 was the last playoff game Moravian has won. They can do that the same exact day.
And, you know, as we had said before, you know, Moravian playing a great brand of basketball this season, already setting a lot of history. Why not?
Stuck in the back court, 2 seconds left to get it over, and they'll do so. And Hoagland maybe got away with a double dribble, but the officials aren't looking there. Pass, connect, hands off to Hoagland, almost loses control, pass underneath Traub, avoiding a foul, but they're gonna call it anyway against Sean Hanna, and that's gonna be his, I believe, his 3rd foul. Excuse me, that's Sean Hanna's 4th foul. So he committed 4 fouls now with 5:45 left in the game, and he's asking the official for an explanation. The official's not having it.
This is a tough time for the Greyhounds, but, you know, they got to be that team that perseveres. They got to be that team that pushes through this. A lot of, as we just saw, Moravian was up by 10 points at one point. Twice now, and had all the momentum in the game. You know, now the momentum shifts to Susquehanna. The game of basketball is a game of runs, and right now we're seeing Susquehanna on a run.
Traub now, 20 points. McGuire looks to drive, hook shot in the lane, will go, and that pushes it back to 5 points for Moravian. Inbound goes to Weidlich. Up the court, connect, brings it up. 2 seconds to spare, looks to get past Holder. Weidlich only scoring 1 point since the start of the half. Hoagland goes to the basket, shot off the mark, off the hands of Brzukis, stays in bounce, keeps it in play, grabbed by Hanna, has 2 on him, passes and he's gonna get a foul. No, excuse me, they're gonna call a double dribble, and the official's gonna make the correct call, and they're gonna say it's a foul going against, excuse me, I can't see the number yet, we'll get that officially. It's going against Tyler Hoagland, that'll be his 4th foul, as Hanna almost blew a fuse about to go towards the official, and if he didn't, Coach Potts definitely was.
And as we've stated before, this game is too close to have mistakes like that, either by the players or by the officials. It's just too close.
And tension's high to begin with, as Hanna sinks the first of a 1-and-1. That's the 8th foul against the Riverhawks. Traub's gonna come back into the game. And replacing, I believe, Diedrich. Hanna's 2nd attempt is good. 65-58. Still 5 minutes remaining. And they're going to call a foul?
I don't believe that was a foul. Maybe just a redo of the play for some reason.
So, yes, they're going to.
I think the ref stopped the play to let Susquehanna know they can run the baseline if needed.
Inbound, Weidlich goes over to connect. He's been running the floor a lot for Susquehanna coming off the inbound, so very impressive is the big man, the freshman from Parkland, Florida. Defense chance coming from the Hound Pack and the rest.